Hey, welcome to Verbal Creek Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday. People like to welcome you all to the show. Look, man, today I got Mr. Love, War and Money, Mr. Aries The Dangerous Don in the building, because we getting ready to set record straight, right? Now, the reason I'm doing this interview, right, is because we as Houstonians, right, especially who grew up on the South Side, right, have to protect our culture because we created a culture out of our mindset, right? And so we had to be very unique because we weren't New York, we weren't California. You know, they wasn't playing us down here, right? And we had our own individual skill and talent and our own way of doing things from the top, how we do our cars and whatnot that we created. So we protect that. You know what I'm saying? And this brother here is part of the culture. And I want you all to understand and recognize, right, when you have someone in front of you that paved the way for other artists. He was with a group of Red Rum.
Red Rum.
Break it down.
Yeah, I was with a group called Ruckus. It was me and Big Mitch, Big Wrath. And you know, we was going in, you know, I Mitch was actually the first one of the first MCs that really, I don't want to say entice, but pulled me in to the rap game, you know. So we had went through a whole lot of forms and a whole lot of concepts. We came up with the group Red Rum.
Red Rum in
that's
the building.
A knife. The logo was a knife penetrating a police badge. So we was on that type of time always. The militancy, the black movement, you know, anything that got to do with soldierism and the power to the people, another extension of the Black Panthers. That's what we were.
Right.
That's what we were admitting. That's what we were. That was our focal point. So we were always trying to get beats. So we would be getting beats from Crazy C. Icy Hot will come through.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Icy Hot. Street Military used to always be at the house, playing their music or making beats and just having a good time. We would be eating, just chilling, you know, vibing. So we heard about this producer named P.O.P. He was with Coppertone Conspiracy. So we became inquisitive about the brother, and Icy Hot made the connection. So Pop came over. Pop, who is now known as the multi-platinum producer, Muhammad 2G, he came through with the board and he made the beat machine smoke. So we formed, we put Coppertone and Ruckus together, and we formed Red Rum, which is murder in reverse. So in that, you know, we created a couple of albums together. You know, we was tight. So from that, I gained a lot of experience, a lot of confidence, a lot of motion as far as my penmanship, because everybody in the group was hard. So we was all, you know, we were very competitive. You know, people used to stop by the house. Big Mello, rest in peace. You know, Snoop Dogg. A whole lot of people heard about us. RBX. You name it. You know, Scarface, 3-2. Rest in peace. You know, we just had the house was just on fire. It was just a spot to be. Well, we had a room where everybody would come and just listen to us freestyle and rap. You know, so yeah, that's my origin. That's where I came from.
Yeah, but that's deeper than just rap lyrics. When you say an extension of the Panthers, right? That's also important because we teaching. It's knowledge that's being given to the general public. Uh, before the music switched to materialism, right? At one point, rappers, whether it's from PE or Lord Jamal, 5% Nation, whatever, that was like our way to give a message or tell a story on what's actually going on in society from our vantage point. Almost like the African drums, right? Where they would talk, you know what I'm saying? So, New York would talk about their experience, you know what I'm saying? A lot of their experience. But you brothers saying, nah, this is how we see it from the South, man, from Texas, from H-Town, and you putting songs out. And I mean, as far as word of mouth and on the street play, you heard the Red Rum in them times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had a wave back then, My only regret is that we didn't mass produce and press up CDs and go out the trunk like everybody else. We was focused on trying to get a deal.
Right.
But everybody wanted that Red Rum project, so had that thought been sparked to just press up CDs and go out the trunk, man, ain't no telling what we'll be right now.
right. But see, that's part of my fault too, bruh. And a lot of other people's faults too, bruh. Simply because, when you got jewels, we supposed to get behind in whatever y'all not having, bruh. Y'all need to push this out the trunk, or everybody coming together. And that's another thing when people say, well, man, it's hard to make it out of H-Town, right? As far as the support level, right? We getting to that, though. It's taking time. But eventually we have to get to that point to where you protect the jewels. Everybody gather around and make one project on top. That's why I was glad, when Jerry Pop M2G, when he was like, Aries gonna put a couple of songs on the movie Accountability Gas Man, right? And it's like, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Let's work on this project. You know what I mean? Let's put energy into something, because the more people you got energy on one thing, that's the more force you got behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna add with that the energy. As a people, we have been systematically trained to worship false idols, i.e., the money.
Right.
The powers that be, they have spread this piece of paper with these dead white guys. I like to describe and illustrate the money is this piece of paper featuring these dead white guys. So we feel like if we can get our hands on this piece of paper, that's it.
Right.
That's all we need to accomplish. But as you were saying, if we could unify, if we could adhere to the strategy of unification, then we can keep our energy within our group. Right. Meaning the money is unification. We are the currency.
Right.
Once we realize that those that are on the outside are simply nothing without us. Without our NBA, without our NFL strength, without our movie savvy, our acting skills, without our dance, without our music, arts and craft, food, our rich culture.
Right.
There ain't nothing without us. Look at what happened to Africa. And what's still happening to Africa, the richest continent on the planet.
Right.
So the bloodsuckers have built a construct to where, since we don't understand unification, we are stuck in a situation where we have to knock on their door.
Right.
To get a contract, to get a deal, to get accepted, to get to eat.
Right.
Because they have tricked us into believing that their system is the only one that's beneficial to us. Look at the music now.
Right.
Spotify. Like when we used to could go out the trunk.
Right.
Spotify, now we get less than a penny
Right.
a stream, a
Right.
third of a cent a stream. Now, how can you eat off that?
Right. Yeah,
how can you survive off your music?
Right. We creative, and they take, and we don't benefit from our creations. Like you say, Spotify, Tubi, that's we make them rich, but we don't benefit from it. But we gotta understand money is just it's a tool.
Right.
Use that tool, and I'm glad you went into that, because I just wanted people to understand that this is conscious, this is hip, and you also hear it in his music. His music is more than just I'm finna pop trunk, or I got jewelry, or materialism. Because think about it though. Just think about it. If we don't teach, right? If we don't give information, especially to the youth, then down the line you got to deal with an older person with no knowledge, who maybe is now looking at you like the enemy because they don't have a foundation that was built and set up for them. That's why it says now at this stage in life, when you mature, you're supposed to counsel. Go back and drop them so they can have, when we grew up, some of the older cats in the neighborhood used to pass down knowledge though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had people be like, nah, bro, don't buy that dude no cigarette. He ain't even old enough. He ain't old enough to drink. When we trying to stand at the corner store or whatever. Mm-hmm. Older cats, nah, bro, don't do that, But now, you really something. They'll buy it for them. They'll give it to them, But that's that one love that we had back in those times. So, man, I am glad, but that you went on that subject though to give a people expression of your music and what you put pen to paper and then put it on that track, then drop it, then give it to the public. You know what I'm saying? So not only are you jamming and you banging to it, right, but you learn it at the same time. You know what I mean? That's a triple threat. But now another thing I just want to get straight, right? Because like I tell a story on how screw music hit Florida, you know what I'm saying, from Mexican partners out of Duval, you know what I'm saying, coming down here, and they would I'd bring them to the Capitol, you know what I mean, and they sitting here jamming that, hey man, what is this, you know what I mean, back then, they on a drink, what is this going on? They take it back to Florida, they paying $100 for the screw tape, take it back to Florida, then from Jacksonville, it went to Tampa, Florida, and, but that's, I'm saying that to say that we pushing, and everybody, we push the culture when you go to other cities. You know what I mean? Let them know that we got something too, which everybody know then, but I'm just talking about back in those times, right? And so when I used to hear the story on Dog Pound and Snoop now using some language that was created out of H-Town or whatnot, I wanted to talk to someone who was actually there that can set the record straight so it don't get misconstrued. I'm only doing this on the basis of the culture and what came out of Houston so it can be protected and understood, and we can archive this and make it history.
Let's stem back to the 80s. 1984 through 1989. Me, Mitch, Lonnie, Big Bruce, David, Chucky, rest in peace, Kevin, Big Maurice. We were in South Park on the street called South Lark. And, we were just playing. It was a guy named Lonnie LaCour. Shout out to Lonnie. He was I was a class clown and Lonnie was a class clown. We would just have everybody laughing. So Lonnie would come around. It might just say we got some women around. He come out, biatch. I don't love them. I don't love them hoes. I don't love them. I don't love them. Rudicat. And we be laughing, so we all adopted that slang. So 1988, I met 3-2. I met Scarface at Shortstop Records. Lil Troy had a little studio and record store on Scott called Shortstop. So it was 3-2 and a couple of more other guys. He had a room full of rappers that he was working with. So 3-2 and Scarface, you know, I hung out with both of those cats. And 3-2, he had a song called Turn Up the Master I used to like. And I was like, man, he got some. You know, he was really rapping. At that time, I was discovering myself. You know, I was listening to Big Daddy Kane. I was listening to Rakim. I was listening to Slick Rick. I was on the Dougie Fresh, you know, and I was just sitting in front of that pen. So, bam, after that, we morphed into Mitch moving out of South Park and his mother trying to take him out of South Park because we had all got in the game. And she thought that if she moved him out of South Park that she would, you know, save him. So she moved to Missouri City. So when Mitch went to Missouri City, I would come out there too to visit. So I started getting familiar with Missouri City. So he met 3-2 out there, you know. 3-2 is between Mo City and Harlem Clark. And they had a little gang called the Bad Boys, or Junior Bad Boys, or something like that. And 3-2 was trying to get in it. So being around Mitch, you know, Mitch was using the slang. So 3-2 picked up on it. Biatch, we don't love them hoes, and you know, I don't love them. And you know, 3-2 ended up signing with Rap-A-Lot and doing his thing, and he took him and Big Mike. Big Mike came around and picked the slang up by default. They ended up going to California, hanging out with Dre and Snoop and them. I think they went out there for about a year or two. And shortly after they came back, the Chronic dropped. And we were riding, jamming the Chronic, and we were like, man, and then we heard that, biatch, we don't love these hoes. Man, Mitch got furious. He was like, man, he called 3-2 over to the house. So 3-2 came over, and Big Mitch smashed on that boy, broke him down, whooped him. And but you know, still today people think that Snoop that came from California. That really came from South Park, from my circle. So yeah, we put that out there. Yeah. But you know, rest in peace, 3-2. It ain't no hate or nothing. It ain't no blow on his reputation. We respect the dead. In fact, I don't believe in death, only elevation, graduation. But that's a part of history that people need to understand. People need to know. You know, and you know, I might catch a few fiery darts for putting it out there, but this the year that I'ma tell the whole story. You know, it's some brothers that I put work in their hand, and they look at it like, if I say, man, I put work in his hand. He used to grind with me, not for me, but with me. That was a source of that was me trying to boost your economy. That was me trying to help you. When I got in the game, I was on, everything came to me on Front Street. I didn't look at the people that put me down. I didn't look at them like they was trying to belittle me. They was helping me eat. So I would not be ashamed to say, man, he helped me out. I wouldn't look at that as a cap. But today we have a few MCs that, you know, elevated to a higher plateau. And when I tell a story, it seems like I'm hating. But I'm just really telling the story of how brothers will be spitting your life.
Right.
And they'll never turn around and be like, look out, bro, come on in.
Right.
You know, so yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's called stealing, bro. Which they don't understand, right? And that's stealing when you take somebody's life, right? And then you tell a story, you reap the benefit from that story, but you don't put nothing back in.
That's what I say on Base Motel. Sample my life, nourished with my sample my life, nourished with my game. Bought themselves infamous names, big things, expensive things. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
So we don't look at it. I don't look at it like it's not a rule, because really black people. And I stuttered over that verse. I ain't said Base Motel in so long. But we always put rules on each other, you know. But what's that place? The House of Legislator, where they create bills and drop the gamble and put things into law.
Right.
We put things into law on each other, but we don't go and mess with them white folks. We adhere to their laws,
right,
and we try to put restrictions on each other.
Yeah.
And that's something that really, that's that slave hatred.
That's that slave mentality.
I despise that slave hatred.
Hate me too, fam.
So,
I hate that.
Yeah.
You wanna hinder another man's freedom, but because you don't understand what free is.
Well, it's not that we wanna. Well, you right. Nobody's right and nobody's wrong. But
the only reason why I said that though, Rob, is because that was a taught behavior back in slavery time, to where Willie Lynch, he put one against another. The free man, he made him not like the slave. He made the slave not like the free man. And our parents was passing down that mindset for generations.
Watch this. We beyond that now.
Right.
If somebody give you a black eye, if they give you a black eye for 400 years, eventually you're going to learn how to bob and weave. You ain't going to get hit in the eye no more. So we're not victims. We free now. Malcolm X, King, brothers died. We free now.
Yeah, a percentage.
And now that we free, we totally free. We totally free. But we're free. But,
physically.
Well, we
Are you saying mentally?
We can be free
physically.
mentally.
Well, we
can be free mentally,
right,
if we do one thing.
What's that, God?
Unify.
Come on, God. There you go.
If we unify, we free.
There you go.
As long as we divide it, we divide and conquer.
Right.
We conquered when we divide. When we divided, we already beat.
Right.
But I say that because we revisit the Willie Lynch syndrome, and we revisit what the white man did to us as an excuse to stay in the ignorance, to stay in the slave hatred. Nah, man, we got sophistication now.
Come on, right.
They saying black elegance now.
Come on.
Black excellence.
Come on.
And when you look at when the black man get the money, the false idol, not the money that comes from unification,
right,
our concerted energy being put together to create a barrier between evil and the righteous. Mm-hmm. Now, we've become unrighteous, as a people, because everything is just cutthroat now.
Right. But let me ask you this, Doug. I'm glad we're on this topic, bro. You know what I mean? Because not only is this an interview with Aries The Dangerous Don, right? Also, we getting into problem solving as far as a community and humanity, right? But now check this out, bro. So you got Army Elijah Muhammad, you got Marcus Garvey, you got Noble Drew Ali, you got what we deem as the conscious community, right? Then you have a Constantine form of religion that also is pumped through our people, right? Now, what makes people are still to this day afraid or won't look into other forms of knowledge as far as Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, and Noble Drew Ali. They won't go that way. They just stay on this side, right? So to me it seemed like if we can knock all that down and say no, information that came, we need to study it out.
Yeah, I'll say in part tribalism.
Come on.
And I kind of left some loose ends on my last breakdown. But the tribalism is what keeps us from accepting all knowledge.
Right.
All knowledge is good.
Good.
Because it was written that you should seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Knowledge is not just one area. You know, you have Islam, you have Al-Islam, you have Nation of Islam, you have Buddhism, you have Christianity, you have this, you have that. I look at it like you can get to the beach from 610, from 288, from 45, from 59. Everybody got their certain highway that they like
highway
to get on.
6,
but
right.
we all going in the same direction. It's all connected.
Right.
So it don't make sense to debate on who's right and who's wrong, because the nation gonna feel like they're right, the Christian gonna feel like they're right, this second group is gonna feel like they're right. At the end of the day, we all right.
We all right.
Cause we doing what's best for us.
That's right.
And I will understand it. But what's really best for us is unification. The Christians getting along with the Muslims, the Muslims getting along with the Christian, the Buddha take what Buddhism has to offer. Meditation.
Come on.
Ego.
Right.
Getting rid of ego.
Right.
That's a big part of what's hindering us, what's hindering the world. You know, world wars are Ukraine and Russia. That's our ego.
Come on, bro.
Ego is the devil. Ego is that voice. We think the devil is some entity walking outside of us. Like, the devil, that old devil.
Right.
The devil is in us. The devil is ego. And until we transcend what we see, the flesh, the outer, the physical world, which is impermanent, you know, we're gonna be lost.
So as 2025, which we in a new paradigm now, right? And it's time, like you said, for unification, right? To build, you know what I mean? If we don't, what you think will be the outcome if we don't come together and build? Because I know, and I'm saying this because as I studied it, right, I was like, damn, man, if we didn't integrate, and I know I'm going back, but we've been set up just like Little Chinatown in these certain cities. Banks, understanding the need for it, you know. but I'm saying now in today's time, not just I mean unification, but also the knowledge mindset that goes along with it. If we don't, what you think, you know, be the end result? As time progresses,
a constant decline. If we look at, let's go back to the 80s when hip hop really started taking off.
right?
Because hip hop is really the main genre that's really running the world. People not listening to the preacher no more. The youngsters, they listening to the rapper. That's the president, that's the preacher. That's everything, the rapper. So I like to say, once we go from rappers to poets, because the Quran and the Bible speak of the poets, we can break free. But if we look at it used to be so simple. it was just the African medallion with a piece of string around the neck. It wasn't no $1 million on your neck and this, that, and the other, a bunch of really worthless stones. Our stuff that came from Africa being sold back to us. Once we stopped being consumers of their goods, that was the importance of what we had. We used to spend our money in our community. Integration brought us into wanting to be accepted by everybody. We're never gonna be accepted by everybody. If you notice, they want us. They want the big butts. They want the big lips. They want everything but us, and that's okay. That's okay. But to answer your question, what would happen if we didn't, if we don't hit the brakes? We're gonna go further and further into this tribalism, into this black on black self-hatred, into this abyss of insanity and ego. And you know, we're about to be, it's gonna be probably a civil war, because it's more poverty than ever right now. It's hard to make money right now.
It's coming.
Because everything is being sold up. The music, the artists, you know, they ain't making no money. It's just, we gonna be at each other's throat in a minute if we don't unify.
Bro. That's why, like I said earlier, with your wisdom on societal issues to help further the cause, because, you know, we at a time now where, like you said, poverty, people frustrated, and to young people, it's a time where homeowners and the average everyday Joe, they fight back now, man. They not finna let you just run up in their house. They tired. You're not just finna be taken. That's why it's so many shootings on the streets, because people, it's like, man, I worked too hard for it. They holding on to their pennies, and they not afraid, bro. So we gotta train the youth in a way to where they can maintain and sustain themselves and find another way, because we need as many soldiers as we can get. We don't need you locked up behind walls. You know what I mean? We don't need you dead. We don't need you losing your masculinity. We gonna, trust me, we gonna need some soldiers. You know what I'm saying? We gonna need some soldiers. And with a mindset though, for knowledge. Be woke. Get some knowledge. That's one of the most important things you can get. And there's books. And read a book, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, I was at a place yesterday, man. He was giving out books for folks to read, man, and because knowledge is power, man. We gotta get to that point, and which we will though. I mean, whether you do it on your own or whether you be forced to do it, it don't matter. You still gonna have to do it.
Look at what we are. We defenseless. We're in America. We don't have our own military. We have a nation of Islam, but we don't have our own military. We don't have tanks. We don't have military equipment. And I'm going to speak lightly on that because I'm not trying to... I'm not trying to be a domestic terrorist.
Not at all. But speaking facts, though.
But what I'm saying is, when we see things going on like Donald Trump doing this, he took that, and you know they did this, and we see our people being disrespected. Like, just say Bill Cosby, let's say R. Kelly, let's say Sean Puff, let's say Suge Knight, let's say Tupac Shakur, let's say Nipsey Hussle, let's say Michael Jackson, let's say Prince, and the list goes on and on. It's the same play. We'll jump on the bandwagon. They got it, and Puff had 1,000 bottles of baby oil. He did it. Man, we don't even know that man. We believe. See, I gathered this knowledge because I went to trial before. And I saw the soap opera. They say guilty until proven innocent, but when you try to prove your innocence, they show you that this a money thing. This ain't about
how much money you got.
This ain't about truth versus falsehood. This about we got more money than you, and we finna set this chessboard up. And if you don't sign for this, we gonna give you this.
Right.
So I said all that to say, when we see our people get incarcerated and thrown under the bus and messed over, we join forces with the oppressor. They got him. You know, just check out the comment section on anything that got something to do with our own. Mm-hmm. We don't even try to figure out what's going on, because we know we're not going to stand behind them. Mm-hmm. Then we'll go over here and talk about a politician like Trump is this, he that bad, he this and he that. Man, we've been saying that for years, but we should ponder on this question. Okay, that's true, but what are you gonna do about it?
What?
If you ain't gonna do nothing about it,
just be quiet. Just be quiet. Leave it alone. You know what I mean?
Because they gonna keep doing what they do. Right. That's just what it is. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. But I wanted to talk about this Love Want Money, this new project. Right. This movie Accountability.
Come on, yeah, we getting it. Yeah, we getting it that. Well, okay. I'm gonna tell you why though. Why we went that route.
Okay.
Right? Why we went that route. Think about what you just said. Everything you talked about was Love Want Money.
Right.
Within the title of the song, right? Everything we talked about was accountability, because love, war, and money and accountability is life, a way of life. It's in the Bible. It's gonna always be war, the room of the war, right? You can't build a strong foundation without love, especially for your family and your children, right? There's gonna be a time when you gotta go to war. There's gonna be a time when you gotta be accountable for your actions. But if you're not accountable for your action, why? What? You got consequences. But in the movie, the consequences, the character I created titled the Gas Man, that'll come get you, right? Why the Gas Man? Why? Because if you're not doing things in the way that's beneficial, a chemical imbalance takes place within your body. That's why you have certain ailments. You look old, you age in a certain way due to a certain lifestyle that you live in. So it eats you up from the inside as a chemical, which represents the gases, right? That's why we done that, right? Now, after we went on that ride, right, the next stop, right, is to take these ideas, right? Take your mind, put it in a 3 or 4 minute song on some tracks, write some bars, give it to the people, and you can digest that within 3 and 4 minutes, because that's mathematics, that's being analytical, and that's a mind. We can take a movie titled Accountability and the Gas Man and give you a visual example of everything we saying, and you can watch it in the movie, and that's love. See, the reason why, another reason this y'all don't understand this, brother, right, is the fact that we both grind out on the streets, right? I wrote a book called Consequences, right? Because what we're doing is our way of giving back. Because when I was young, I would hear people say, you got to give back to the community. You got to give back to the people. This is how we give back versus just quiet and not saying nothing. You know what I mean? But books, songs, movies, we giving back, bro. Yeah, you know. And there's a lot, it's a lot we gonna out, you know, people we both know, but we'll chop that up later. But now on that Love Want Money, first, it's on platforms. Where can they find it at?
They can find it everywhere. It's in over 240 countries. Streaming everywhere. Love Want Money. The importance of this song in H-Town in Houston, Texas is just the different elements, the different frequency, the different energy. we've been in the screwed up dimension for, I think, over 30 years. You know, brothers are holding a styrofoam cup, and that styrofoam cup is associated, you know, with death. Like people dying from drinking that syrup. I just wanted to put that out there. You know, we glorifying this cup. I just wanted to put that out there. But Love Warm Money is such a hard song and such a remarkable song. It came to me in pieces, in different times. I got the beat in I went to prison in 2000, right after I signed a little record deal. I got the beat when I got out in 2001. So I got out the penitentiary. I was basically homeless. I got this beat from Muhammad 2G, and I got back in the game. So I got the beat. I wrote the hook, but I couldn't sing it. I knew it had to be an R&B hook. So I tried to find I interviewed a couple of people to sing it. I had a guy that was subpar at best. So we traveling. It's 2001, 2, 3, 4. I was still thinking about this song, but I couldn't write it because I was in the streets so heavy. So every time I sit in front of my pen, my phone, beep, beep, my phone going off. So the song burned in my mind for like 10 years. So I ended up going to prison in 05. I ended up getting out in 08. I stayed out 4 months. Went back in 08. Got out in 08, went back in 08. Went to trial, got 30. Came back from trial and sit on my bunk, and I wrote Love Warm Money. But I was so excited when I wrote it. I said it, and it was just like God wrote it. It was like, man, this it. And I was like, damn, man, I can't even record it. I'm on my way to the penitentiary. I said Love Warm Money. I want every rap battle in the penitentiary off Love Warm Money. And the song I got called Push. So when I got out, I remember I was on a McConnell unit, my silly DJ. We was up jamming, we was drinking pretties and doing push-ups. I was like, man, this Love Warm Money. Oh, when I get out, he was like, man, Love Warm Money, let me hear it, silly. I started busting it. I'm still down with the dirt, fast cars and guns. Keep me alive in the streets of sin. I was raised around violence, cursed with the right to remain silent, disobedient. Tell them I'm a tyrant. Just because I live for the day, pray for tomorrow to arrive. For too hard if it does to survive. I'm far from perfect, close to all my inner demons. What's a friend? Another jealous, fraud, backstabber. Watching your ends. I watch the sunrise and I think of love. Something exotic here with Aries The Don, nigga, unholy thug. Yeah. Magnums in freak positions, pumping pipe with her permission. Beautiful goddess, the thick edition. I'm tripping, man. Ball till you fall, no safety nets. When them people come to get you, bless or call, collect. Love Warm Money, yes.
Come on.
So I started eating. He was like, oh, sell it, man. That boy jamming. So now the song is out there. Streaming on all digital platforms. Love Warm Money. Aries The Dangerous Don. That's Aries The Dangerous Don, produced by the platinum producer, Muhammad 2G. Song by Sean Robbins, the crooner. He went in on that. So yeah, man, shout out to Believe and shout out to Heart Attack.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, right? Come on,
man. We
for putting it out, for getting the distribution going.
For getting the distribution. Thank you, man. He helped tremendously.
Right. Because that's the single that's being distributed right now. Then the single. And also that song is on the soundtrack for accountability.
Yes, sir.
The Gas Man, and that's on our streaming platforms too. So make sure y'all support, man. Check that out. Whether it's Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Wake Up Tuesday, it don't have to be a special occasion to support, man. Because this is an offer. This is an offer to the public, right? This is where you all can put your mind and your money to where your mouth is and say, "Oh man, we support." You get out there and support. You know what I mean? Because like when you reach a certain point in life, you use money different than when you was younger. See, that's why the God didn't bless me when I dropped my first album, right? To get independent out of my dollars, right? But because He knew I was damn well I was gonna do with the money, I won't even do it, spend it right. I'm finna lose it. I'm finna ball out of control, right? But He waited till I came down. Red got some knowledge, and now things is moving how it's supposed to move, and I'm able to give back, and then bring guests on to tell their story and give back to you. This is all for you. You know what I mean? This is for the public. You know, this is for the people. This is teaching moments. You know. So hey, we hope y'all enjoy it. And before we get out of here, anything else you like to add,
Yeah, like I said, love, war, money. Aries The Dangerous Don, streaming on all major platforms globally. Y'all check out that Chronicles of the Dope Man, Volume 1. Aries The Dangerous Don, streaming on all digital platforms. We have Push, Aries The Dangerous Don. I took the Michael Jackson beat it, and I freaked it, man. It's incredible. Check that out. Aries The Dangerous Don. 9 Years Young, another single I dropped. 9 Years Young, Aries The Dangerous Don. And I came with my first album, the Mafia Genie, Mafia Me album. The audio biography of Aries The Dangerous Don. Artist, Aries The Dangerous Don. So I got a couple of videos out there too. I did a video for a song called I'm Home and a song called For More, Aries The Dangerous Don. Y'all check me out. And God willing, you guys will be hearing a lot more from me and my fellow brethren soon. Thank you.
Verbal Radio, we got. Yeah.